الحمد لله الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Many people will often choose something in their life that they can lean on when they're going through some difficulty. And sometimes experts even recommend this, that when a person is going through a challenge or they're going through a difficult time, that they should have something that they can sort of fall back on, so that when there's a need, they can come to that place or to that space or to that person, achieve or receive the comfort they need in order to be able to reset. And people have different things that they do. Someone's going through some difficulty or tribulation, or maybe just internally they're just really struggling. That they may have a person that they'll call, or they'll go to the house. Oh, this is on stop. Is this supposed to be on? Okay. They'll have some difficulty, so they'll go to that person's house and they'll be able to find comfort in that person. This is the one person I know I can rely on, I can lean on, that when I need to get some sense of comfort, I come to this individual. For some people, it's like their hometown, where they were born and raised. So, for instance, they're going through a tough period in their life, and they'll go and visit their hometown. And when they go there and they sort of see the streets and smell the air and see the roads and the buildings, and they're like, this feels a lot more comfortable and stable for me, that in this time of instability, this is where I'm going to find my stability. Right? So this is not uncommon. And people often find something like this, and this is important from a health perspective. For the believer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sort of selected for us this comfort or this place of solace, and that is in the form of the Quran. That is in the form of the Quran. And the reason it's so unique is because if you look at everything else in this world, everything is so transient. If I have a friend that I trust, that I can come to, or a sibling that I can rely on, eventually that sibling is going to leave this world. Or eventually that sibling, it's possible that they're going to change their perspective on things and no longer be that source of comfort for me. It's not firm, it's not on firm grounding, right? So everything in this world changes. But if you look at that one object or that one, let's say, piece of work or whatever, one thing that remains perfect and stable and unchanged for thousands of years, it's the Quran. It's the Quran. And that's incredible if you think about it, right? Look at any theory, any idea, any writing, anything. For that to be able to stand the test of time for hundreds of years, and at this point over 1,000 years, you're not going to find much. You're not going to find much. The Quran is that source where it will remain in its perfect form. The text will remain in its perfect form until the day of judgment. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. On top of that, not only is it so stable that it's not going to change, over the course of our lifetime, we can feel comfortable. From the day we're born until the day we die, there's not going to be any alteration in it. If I want to approach it when I'm 15 or 25 or 55 or 95, it's going to be the exact same text and source of guidance that I had when I was a kid. And that's quite incredible. People change, times change, theories change, but the Quran never changes. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because as we sort of look at those things in our life that we rely on and lean on, I think it's time that all of us, myself included first and foremost, make the Quran that one thing that we lean on the most. Make the Quran that one thing that we lean on the most. Yeah, in times of difficulty, a lot of us turn to the Quran, because we'll go to the Quran, we'll see what's inside it, we'll read it more than we normally would. But the reality is, every day has some degree of chaos. I wake up in the morning, there's a bit of stability when I get up from my bed. And then the next 8, 9, 10 hours, I don't know what's going to happen. I go to work, I might have to pick this up, something comes in the way. There's all this sort of chaos until I kind of come back home again, right? And then there's that chaos sort of stabilizes. That Quran is still there for me in the evening. So even amidst the daily chaos of day-to-day life, there still has to be something that grounds us, that we can lean on and trust and rely on, will always be there for us. Will always be there for us. Now, if you can find something in your life, or if I can find something in my life, where I can say, this will always be there for me 100% of the time, fine, choose it, right? But that's a challenge. That's a challenge. It's tough. It's hard to find a person. It's hard to find a place. It's hard to find anything that I can be that reliant on. Look, it's interesting. When a person reaches the age of 50 or 55, let's say they were reciting Quran from when they were a child, and they open up the Quran and they look at the text of the Quran, to be able to say that this is the exact same writing that I was reading when I was a child, and it's still with me now, that's very powerful. It hasn't been altered. It hasn't changed. For a hafiz of the Quran, someone who's memorized the Quran as a child, you might think, okay, well, this is now memorized, and we take it for granted. We recite the Quran so fluidly, it's very easy. But if a person takes the Quran, opens up the text, and looks at the pages and says, SubhanAllah, these are the same words, that when I was 7 or 8 or 9 or 12 years old, that I was memorizing. These are the exact same words. They haven't changed. The message is exactly the same. It's completely unadulterated. It has such a profound psychological and spiritual impact because it's the one thing that we can lean on. It's the one thing that we can, and I'll leave with one more point about this. Look, if you look at so many other messages, so the one idea of the Quran is this is that one tool Allah gave us to lean on and says when things are difficult or when things are normal, know that one place that you can turn to is the text of the Quran. It'll always be there for you, and if you were to live for 500 years, that Quran will still be there with you. Incredible. So leaning on the Quran. And the other incredible thing about the Quran that allows us to lean on it is that there's no text or message that you and I receive today that we can let our guard down with. What do I mean by that? Someone sends us a message on our phone, or we read something online, or we watch some video. There's always the possibility that this is not going to benefit me. Maybe the motive of the person who's sending the message is an ulterior motive. Maybe the information is not correct, or it needs to be validated or verified. Maybe the content is misleading. No matter how pure the message may seem that it's coming to me, I can't let my guard down. Everyone knows that. It could be not for my benefit. With the Quran, it's that one message where you and I can fully let our guard down when we interact with it. I don't have to question who wrote this? Where did it come from? It's from Allah. I don't have to question, is this the same as the original, or is this some artificial intelligence version of it that's trying to... This is exactly how it is. This is in its purest form. I don't have to question, is the motive behind why this text is getting to me? Is it because they want my money? Is it because they want my clicks? Is it they want my likes? It's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give us guidance. It's that one book or that text, or let's say that message, where I can open up on my phone or on the actual mushaf, and I can look at it and say, SubhanAllah, no matter what I do with this right now, I can fully let my guard down and trust that this is going to benefit me. And it's really difficult in this day and age to find anything that I read or see or watch that I can let my guard down and say, I trust this. So for us, right, as believers, and I'm going to conclude, as we're sort of navigating through life and we're looking for something that we can fully lean on and fully let our guard down with, we should look at the Quran. And that means that all of us, to some degree, every single day should have some interaction with the Quran. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but it's that sort. And of course, there's many layers. I don't want to get into implementation, study, learning. I'm just talking about taking the Quran every evening, putting it before me, reading the text, and saying that no matter what happens, no matter what I do right now, this is 100% for my benefit, and this is 100% something that I can lean on. And even those 5 or 10 minutes a day has such a profound impact. And of course, when I need to recite more because I'm feeling the need, that Quran will be there for me, and it is ready to be recited, and is ready to support me in every way, shape, or form. So I'm reminding myself first and foremost because I think that all of us lack in a consistent relationship with the Quran. I think we all have a love for it. We appreciate that this is the word of Allah. We know where it should be placed. But in terms of having it as a source that I, in a daily basis, lean on and trust and let my guard down and say at the end of the day that every other message that came to me today, I don't know if I can trust it. I don't know if I can rely on it. I don't know if I can implement it. I don't know if it's for my benefit. I don't know. But now I can let my guard down and I can fully engage you for these few minutes. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you and I the tawfiq to appreciate the value the Quran can play in our life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to lean upon it and to give it the attention it deserves. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to feel comfortable letting our guard down when we're interacting with His glorious book. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, aqulu qawli hadha, astaghfirullah li wa lakum wa li sa'iril muslimina, fastaghfiruhu innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبو بكر وأشهدهم في أمر الله عمر وأصدقهم حياء عثمان وأقواهم علي وفاطمة سيدة نساء أهل الجنة والحسن والحسين سيدا شباب أهل الجنة وحمزة أسد الله وأسد رسوله اللهم اغفر للعباس وولده مغفرة ظاهرة وباطنة لا تغادر ذنبا رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون عباد الله اتقوا الله واذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولا ذكر الله تعالى أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون Straighten the rows, fill in the gaps, move forward as much as possible. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim, siratal ladhina an'amta 'alayhim, ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. Alif Lam Mim. Dhalika al-kitabu la rayba fihi hudan lil-muttaqin alladhina yu'minuna bil-ghaybi wa yuqimuna as-salata wa mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. We don't have to remind you of two things, the donation and parking lot, because we didn't hear any brother complaining that I got a ticket. So that means you guys are parking in a nice place, respecting the property of church, and also driving in a proper exit. So that means that everything is okay. We are announcing that our general body meeting will be on Sunday on the 10th, after Zuhur inshallah ta'ala. And Pakistan Children Relief, their fundraising dinner is on the 16th in Farmington Manors. Jazakallah khair. Also, we have a lot of educational programs. We are starting a new program for the converts, and they can join for free inshallah ta'ala. It will be Saturday after Zuhur. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.